So some of you may have seen my last post, and I want to just take a few seconds of your time to answer a few questions. I never thought that I would actually say this, but I am publishing a book and it's coming out in less than 2 weeks. First question, what is it? This is a book on prayer written with Gen Z in mind. Now, it's not exclusively for Gen Z. I've actually sent it to people older than Gen Z, and they've loved it. All the feedback I've gotten from them is like, oh my word, this is amazing. But even for people like I had in mind, just like my own friends who are like, I'm not much of a reader myself, this was written with you in mind. There's 13 chapters. Jared, that's kind of a lot. The average length of a chapter is less than 10 pages. 13 chapters, 120 pages-ish in the whole book. I even told that to someone last week, and she was like, that's like the perfect length for a book. Exactly. And so even if you're not a reader, it flows through really nicely. I guarantee that you're going to love it. And then secondly, I don't know if you've ever read a book and they kind of start off with a good point, but then it just kind of keeps on going on and on and on. You're like, okay, when's this going to wrap up? Give God Clay is not like that. Actually, every single chapter is split up, not really half and half, more like maybe 1/3 and 2/3, where 1/3 of it is a story. And it's the same story throughout the whole book. Every single chapter, just it continues to build and build and build as the book progresses. The story is basically an allegory for prayer. It's a metaphor for prayer. And you learn a new lesson in the story every single chapter. And then what comes afterwards is kind of explaining, okay, what does that mean for us? What does that mean in real life? So I guarantee, even if you don't like reading, you're still going to love it. And if you love reading, of course, you're going to love it. Question number 2. Okay, when is it available? This one, March 1st. It is available for pre-order as an ebook right now on Amazon. The link is in my bio if you wanted to check that out. If you're into ebooks, then you can go ahead and pre-order that. But the paperback copy will be available March 1st. That's when you can order it on Amazon. Why did I write it? So this one's easy. First off, because I felt like the Lord laid the idea on my heart, and I just wanted to be faithful and say yes to what He asked me to do. But secondly, my relationship with God has been the most important part of my entire life. And I've heard so many other people talk about their own experience with prayer and just how they've struggled. And I wanted to write this book for them, for you, if you fall into that category. I wanted to show people, give them an image of prayer so that when they pray, it doesn't just feel like you're talking into the abyss or the void, but so that you know that God hears you and you can imagine it and you can see like what happens when prayers don't go answered and when things change. Like this book kind of tackles all those questions. And so I guarantee if you've ever been struggling with prayer or if you want to learn more about prayer, this book is for you. You're going to love it.